What's up, YouTubers? My name is Julia. I am here reporting to you live from my kitchen area. Anyway, so I wanted to reach out to you guys and share some information with you in terms of what you can do to grow your hair really long. This has been a crazy journey for me, but I made it. I have really long hair now, and I figured why not help other people do what I have done. Or just make some friends online, I don't know. I'm not working right now, so I figured I'd better make good use of my time and maybe take a couple of hours out of my day to work on this so that I have at least something creative going on. But hey, that's life, you know, you gotta create your opportunities. So when I first started this journey, I had completely cut off all my hair to go natural, and that was in about 2002. And I had no hair. It was very short. And so I was in the process of learning about hair and that sort of thing, and I wasn't happy about it. That was my very first time cutting my hair. So in 2002, after I'd cut it and experimented and didn't really have a whole lot of resources, the whole YouTube nation wasn't like that live yet, so I had decided to grow it back. And I grew it back for the next few years. 2005, I decided to up and move my entire life to Costa Rica. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just exhausted from school and everything. So I got my degree and I took off. And I went and moved to Costa Rica. It was a beautiful experience, but I have to say I wasn't really prepared. I wasn't prepared for it hair-wise. It was just a challenge because I didn't have like access to hair products, and you know, the whole natural thing wasn't like a big deal out there. So it was basically working with like a lot of alcohol-based products and just not knowing what to do. It was a total disaster. My hair was always crazy, frizzy, or in braids. So after that, I had moved back to Los Angeles, and I tried a bunch of different hair products there too. I went to different salons. Everyone was giving me the same story. We don't do your kind of hair, or we only deal with like people with relaxed hair, etc., etc. And I'm sure that there are some out there, but these are the ones that I found personally, and it just didn't work out. So I had continued experimenting, and I had used a lot of different hair products in my hair, and some of them I liked, but I had experimented so much that I basically ruined the texture of my hair. I had done so many numerous things, and I had used chemicals, I had used dyes. It was just a mess. My hair was always tangled and it was just like bad. So I decided to start all over again. That was several years ago now, and this time it was different for me. It was sort of like a personal revolutionary kind of thing. I felt really good about it, and it was me sort of coming into myself. I was in my prime, in my mid-20s or whatever, and I was really feeling good about it. So I cut all my hair off, and the plan was to get this Halle Berry, you know, sexy thing going on. At the time, I was working for this very major record label, which I'm sure all of you have heard of, and it was just an exciting time for me, for my career, for my life, and changes and evolution, and stepping into myself as a woman and being natural, and I was just, you know, feeling myself. So that didn't quite work out either. I had looked up this guy in LA, gave another hairdresser in LA a chance. He said that he was fresh from Atlanta, and I won't get into too many details or anything like that because this is a public space. You know, he could be watching right now or whatever, but it didn't work out. Didn't get the Halle Berry, got the Halle Scary. And at that point, I was like, I'm not cutting my hair again. I'm determined to grow it all the way back, all of it back. And people were looking at me like, shh, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to grow my hair back, and it's going to be down my back. And I was showing them like, my hair is going to be down here, you know. They're like, whatever, looking at me like, whatever. So it gave me the fuel that I needed to push forward because I was so determined to have this long, beautiful hair. I had, you know, at the time I was dating this guy, and I remember he told me, he was like, you know, I like girls with the long hair. And he had an accent too. He was like, I like the girls with the long hair. And I was like, well, you know, like this guy has got one thing coming. But what he didn't realize at the time was that he was just fueling. There were all of these people that were just fueling, you know, and as much as we want to say that we are not a product of our hair, we sort of, you know, society, or mostly society, it's the media. The media can make it really difficult sometimes to just be yourself. So I was determined. That's when I started doing a lot of research, and I did everything that I could possibly think of to grow my hair. Not just grow it, but grow it healthily and grow it as fast as possible. I was on a fast track to fast, long, beautiful hair. That was all I could imagine. I had magazines, I had images. It was a big deal for me because I had gone through so much with this whole natural hair process, and it felt like a big letdown for me because I didn't really have the experience, the knowledge. I didn't have the community support. I didn't have friendship support. I was just by myself, you know, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And it was really frustrating because it was at a time where I really felt like I wanted to come into myself, and I just didn't really have the guidance and the direction. And I was too naive, or should I say young. I was too young to really just sort of feel it and let it sort of take its own shape. You know, now if I were to cut my hair again, I'd rock it, you know, but at the time I wasn't ready for it yet. So growing my hair was there was a lot of experimentation, and at the time it was maybe 1.5 to 2 inches long. As I began to invest a lot of time in growing my hair back, I actually learned a lot about hair, which is interesting. I don't claim to be any kind of like a professional. I just know what worked for me, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the texture or the capability of the length of your hair, but basically people would always tell me, as an African American, you know, you cannot grow your hair long. And I was like, what? You know, I was like, but what if we want to? What's with the limitation? It's like there's always this limitation, you know, in the air. And you have to ignore that. If you really believe and you really want to achieve something, go for it. So I was doing supplementing, I was trying different products, and there was a series of things that I had tried and experimenting, and things didn't work out so well and things did work really well. And I am here to help you, basically give you all the information about the things that work really well for me, and hopefully you will be able to take those things sort of like I did and create a journey for yourself, because that's really what it's all about. Just like accepting and embracing yourself throughout the steps of the process, which is something that I wish I could have done at the various stages, because I was wearing hats a lot and I just wasn't feeling good about myself. It was terrible. It was awful. So now that I'm here, I'm like holding on to it. I had a girlfriend tell me, she was like, girl, you need a trim. And I was like, no, I don't. Anyway, but that is my process. Several years, here I am, several years later, and it's all mine, and it's long, and, you know, I embrace it, and for the moment I'm rocking it, you know. Every once in a while I think maybe I should cut it again, but I've been terrified to do it because of the experience that I had, but it's not out of the question. So what I'll do is quickly give you guys a little shot of what we're working with. And basically, if you like what you're hearing, subscribe and you will be updated and know when I've got, you know, check in with me and see what I've got going on, and definitely spread the word. And I just want to remind you guys that it is very possible to grow your hair long. I don't know how long, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a hair expert, but it is possible, and you can rock your own, you know. It's like, hair weaves are like so big now, and I don't knock it, but at the same time it's just not the same as having your own hair, you know. There was a point in time where I did go the weave route, and it was weird, you know. It wasn't working for me. I was having my moments. Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate that you've watched. Like I said, spread the word, and I'll see you guys next time.